I want to start off by introducing Lisa, who will be our first speaker. Like Chris said, Lisa M. Borders is the founder and CEO of Golden Globe Media. But just a little bit more about Lisa. She's done so many roles. It's just amazing in the past. She's the former president of the WNBA, CEO and president of Time's Up, former vice president of global community affairs at the Coca-Cola company, and president of the Grady Health Foundation. Right, 3 decades of leadership in the private, public, and nonprofit space. She's really known to inspire and bring about change. Renowned motivational speaker, a mentor. She shares her experience in professional sports, in medicine, government, and corporate strategy to guide Fortune 500 companies today. One other thing about Lisa, she's also served as Atlanta's vice mayor and city council president, and chaired the Borders Commission for the United States Olympic and Paralympic Committee. Right, in her current positions at Duke University and J.P. Morgan's Sixth Circle Trust of Board of Trustees, she brings a dynamic outlook on public health, sustainability, the intersection of sports and politics, and the DEI and the ESG challenges that companies face today, which we'll be talking about. So over to you, Lisa. Welcome.
Oh, thank you so much, Hari. Let me thank you and Christine. I appreciate that warm introduction, and many thanks to the both of you for inviting me to participate in the session. And I'm also grateful to share this virtual stage with my fellow presenter, Suzanne Kunkel. So let me start by offering gratitude. Gratitude not only to Hari and Christine and Suzanne, but also to all of you who are attending this session. You're investing in yourselves, your colleagues, and your discipline. And oftentimes we are all moving too fast in life and not taking the time to practice self-care, stopping and deliberately refreshing our own knowledge base and cultivating similarly aligned colleagues. So I'd like to begin with a few observations and insights about marketing. As a 40-year executive, I've had the privilege of working in every sector, as Hari mentioned, public, private, and nonprofit, and multiple industries, from healthcare and real estate to politics and professional sports. In every role, I've seen marketing as an invaluable tool, but that is not how many of my colleagues over these last decades have viewed the field. Sometimes marketing has been seen as necessary but notorious. Others see the field as underutilized and underestimated. But as we discuss better marketing for a better world, I would submit the discipline can and should be used to improve the quality of our lives, driving positive choices that result in optimal outcomes for individual communities and society as a whole. But the question is, how do we use that behavior? I didn't always understand this, but I've grown to understand that businesses, large, medium, and small, and across sectors, have an ability to move the needle on societal norms and behaviors. Today, we have the benefit of empirical evidence that highlights the strength of an opportunity for businesses, particularly in this polarized environment where trust is an extremely scarce commodity and skepticism appears to reign supreme. The recently published Edelman Trust Barometer asserts that business is expected to be a catalyst for change by leading with its title, Societal Leadership is Now a Core Function of Business. These folks have studied trust for 20 years and consistently published their resonant findings. So I find their work a very credible source. Marketing, of course, is a core function for business. So it's very natural to view marketing as a potential tool in the arsenal for addressing and potentially reversing a dysfunctional or negative environment. The study conducted last year in November included some 36,000 respondents in more than 28 countries. And Edelman found that trust has eroded in some key institutions. First among equal, government, 48% of the people said that, and media, 46% of the people said that. The respondents identified government and media as actually divisive. But that said, they also indicated that business was the most trusted of traditional institutions by 61%. And if you specified my employer, that jumped to 77%. Well, that said, the data also reveals that stakeholders feel business is not doing enough to address societal problems. In fact, 81% of the interviewees wanted their CEOs out front, speaking on societal issues and conveying what their organizations had done to address the problems. Now, I know we'll want to delve into how and when and why companies should engage during our discussion today, but the data is quite compelling. We should also spend some time thinking about strategies like segmentation, demographics, psychographics, like who is included and how they are included. But herein lies the opportunity for business to leverage its trusted position for good. And marketing is certainly one of the key functions in any business, certainly along with others. And you need your senior leadership and your comms folks and your DEI folks and legal, just to name a few, to bring this approach to life. So we're all aware of the traditional lineup where NGOs and mission-driven organizations seem poised only for purpose. We could think about folks like the Red Cross, or credit unions like Navy Federal, or hospitals like Grady Health System, where I previously worked, which is Atlanta's premier level 1 trauma center. And while legacy and modern era businesses, think about brands like Juul, who sell e-cigarettes, or Grey Goose selling adult spirits, or McDonald's with fast food, are seen as solely profit-driven. Now, I'm not judging these brands or how they're marketed to young or old folks in our community. I'm merely observing that we have often envisioned our world in two extremes, and having marketing be positive or negative. I would offer that marketing plays a huge role in positioning and promoting these and so many other brands, which sometimes reflect but often project consumer demand. I submit there appears to be a nascent change underway with business and its ability to address and help solve societal challenges. There is not only a recognition of the trust factor that businesses now enjoy, there are actually what I would term early adopters in the space who are acknowledging and addressing the world's challenges through developing and marketing their own products and services. Moreover, they are acting deliberately and marketing passionately to drive collaborative change. In fact, there are organizations like B Lab Global that have emerged that can actually help organizations quantify their approaches and certify them on the basis of compliance with a set of rigorous governance and operational standards to better inform and take care of the world while running your business. So if you're not familiar with B Lab Global, their mission is transforming the global economy to benefit all people, communities, and the planet, which seems to mean their vision is making business a force for good. So let's look at several examples of brands that have employed this strategy. I would first bring your attention to Tom's. This is a footwear and lifestyle brand, and they are a certified B Corporation, receiving that designation from the B Lab Global folks. They actually market their products as a source of community support, meaning they support the product as serving the buyer and fulfilling a societal need. They have chosen to commit a percentage of their profits to nonprofit organizations who are working to solve some deeply rooted societal issues. They're looking to boost mental health and end gun violence and increase access to opportunity. And then there's Viva. You may not have heard of these folks. They're in the life sciences business, and they actually made history in 2021 in February as the first company to convert to a public benefit corporation. This means they had to actually have their board and their shareholders vote to make this transition from a traditional C Corp to a public benefit corporation. They are, in fact, agreeing not only by thought and by wish, but by organizational tax structure to ensure that they serve a public good. I would say somebody should say amen to these people. They are doing something really special. Now, let me give you one other example where folks felt perhaps pressure to change their thought process. I call your attention to Etsy. Do you guys know who they are? They are a technology company, and they are a relative newcomer, but they in fact platform small artists in a one-to-many format, enabling artists to sell their wares all across the globe. Since 2012 and prior to the company's IPO, they were certified by the third-party group I was just talking about, B Lab Global, as a B Corporation. They committed to running a sustainable and socially responsible company. However, the company abandoned this certification in November of 2017, submitting to pressure from shareholders to maintain their beneficial tax structure as a traditional C Corp after they went public. The Etsy CEO indicated when this change occurred that conversion as a public company to a B Corp was frankly complicated and untested for an existing public company. Read risky. However, he insisted the company's values, keep commerce human, would remain intact. Now, I would tell you that he was right, that it really is true that no one had tried it in 2017. I just mentioned that Viva did it in 2021. But Viva's shareholders, all stakeholders, not just the shareholders, their employees, their vendors, their suppliers, their partners, have all agreed and have fallen in line with their new tax structure and their new behavior as a public benefit corporation. This is a fertile opportunity for marketing to step in and not only accentuate, but accelerate this nascent change in business. Better marketing for a better world means perhaps recognizing this paradigm shift and harnessing the power of the discipline to drive the behavior which will result in a better world. It could also mean full-on integration in the business, being embedded from the initial ideation of a product or a service all the way through to the product launch and products being in the market. The marketing voice is not always at the table from soup to nuts. Let me just tell you, you should be. For those who say marketing is underutilized and underestimated, they are incorrect. We want to make sure that the marketing team is always at the table because you need to be carrying the water from the beginning, the middle, and let's hope there's never an end for your product or your company's service. So I would submit to you today that this is an amazing opportunity where we are in the world today. It's polarized, but business has all of this power, all of this trust, and that marketing as a primary function of business can step in as a transformative force in today's environment, where societal challenges abound and time is of the essence. I submit we need marketing today, now more than ever.